Well, these are the scenes from Anna Maria, Florida just yesterday, located on the west coast of Florida, where Hurricane Milton is forecast to make landfall on Wednesday. If all of this debris is not cleaned up, these will turn into flying objects on Wednesday when landfall occurs. So brand new advisory from the National Hurricane Center. Milton, now a Category 5 hurricane with 175-mile-per-hour winds, pressure down to 911 millibars. This is the strongest hurricane on the Atlantic basin since Hurricane Dorian back in 2019. And this is the strongest storm in the Gulf since Hurricane Rita back in 2005. So this is an exceptionally powerful hurricane. And just zooming in on visible satellite this afternoon, notice that pinhole eye. You only see these pinhole eyes with the strongest of hurricanes out there. And Milton certainly moving its way up on that list this afternoon. By the way, Milton, the second fastest hurricane on record to go from Category 1 to Category 5. Notice only behind Hurricane Wilma back in 2005. So this hurricane is breaking records left and right. And notice it's expected to remain a Category 5, likely getting a little bit stronger later on today. But either way, this is forecast to strike the Florida Peninsula as a major hurricane on Wednesday. Our current forecast from the National Hurricane Center calls for a landfall somewhere between Cedar Key and Fort Myers. But either way, this is the worst case scenario for the west coast of Florida. This is going to push a massive storm surge in. And keep in mind, these areas along the west coast of Florida were just devastated by Hurricane Helene a couple of weeks ago. And Southwest Florida still dealing with the aftermath of Hurricane Ian back in 2022. So this is a worst case scenario for this area. The largest evacuation in state history, only behind Hurricane Irma, is ongoing today. So here's why all of these devastating impacts are expected. This hurricane is expected to grow in size in the next couple of days. Notice upon approach to Florida, much bigger eye, and the storm will be much larger in size as well. So those hurricane force winds, life-threatening storm surge will be felt far away from the center. Because of that, you have hurricane watches in effect right now from Cedar Key all the way down to Marco Island. Tropical storm watches in effect from Key West all the way up towards Panama City. And with all of that wind, that means a high storm surge as well. Current forecast from the National Hurricane Center calls for 8 to 12 feet of surge from Tampa Bay down over to Charlotte Harbor. But these numbers are expected to be adjusted upward, likely as high as 20 feet. So catastrophic, life-threatening storm surge expected there. And that's why you're seeing such massive evacuations.